Lambs. I have our March Storytime book. This one is called Over and Under the Pond. There are so many things that we learn about in this book that are part of a pond, either over top or underneath. I'm going to be curious to see if you can learn anything new today. Over the pond we slide, splashing through lily pads, sweeping through reeds. See, they're on top of the pond in their boat, and these long plants are called reeds. The water's a mirror reflecting the sky, sunshine and clouds, then a shadow below. What's down there, I ask. Under the pond, Mom says. See, they're looking in the water and they can see their reflection. Under the pond is a whole hidden world of minnows and crayfish and turtles and bullfrogs. We're paddling over them now. See, in this picture you can see the boat and they're looking down to the water, and this is all the different things under the water. Our friends who saw us at Storytime in person made a turtle craft, and it was very fun. Over the pond we skim past tall rushes, whirligig beetles loop and twirl, skaters on a warm summer surface. I wonder if any of my friends have ever seen bugs on the surface of some water. Under the pond, minnows dart through waving forests of grass, while a brook trout lurks, ready to lunge. See, he wants to eat these little minnows. Over the pond, we lift and dip and pull past a row of painted turtles on a waterlogged tree. 1, 2, 3, splash, gurgle, sploosh, under the pond. See, the painted turtle is called that because it looks like someone painted on his legs and his tail and his head. This one stayed on the log and this one jumped in the water. Over the pond, cattails rustle and shush in the wind. Listen close. Hooplaree! Red-winged blackbirds race by. One has grass for her nest. Under the pond, a caddisfly larva builds a home of her own, a secret shelter of pebbles and sand. Did you know there were so many things around a pond? Over the pond, the shadows of trees lean out from the shore. We coast under a low-hanging branch. A moose looks up with a mouthful of water lilies. We've interrupted his lunch. Did you know that moose ate flowers for lunch? I didn't know that. Under the pond, beavers dive deep. They pump with powerful tails and rise to the surface with delectable roots from the mud. See, he's getting roots to eat for his lunch. And these ones are swimming. We see 1, 2, 3 beavers. Over the pond, the wind gives us a push and stirs the light dappled leaves on shore. There on a branch, a new goldfish teeters, finally ready to fly. He's a little hard to see, but there's a tiny little yellow bird that's going to learn to fly. Under the pond, the tadpoles are changing, learning to hop. They're losing their tails, growing legs, and growing up. A tadpole grows up into a frog. Over the pond, there at the shore, tall and silent and still, a great blue heron stares down into the deep. It tenses, it takes one long-legged step, and strikes. See, he's looking for fish to eat too. It catches a wiggling quicksilver minnow from where it was hiding under the pond. Did you know a great blue heron could put his head the whole way underwater to catch a fish? Over the pond we drift, heads tipped up to the sun. A woodpecker clings to a teetering pine, digging for ants. Under the pond, an otter claws for freshwater mussels. Those are seafood that he likes to eat. Over the pond, a sleepy dragonfly lands for a rest. His spindly legs tickle my knee. Under the pond, dragonfly larvae watch what swims by. They catch minnows in monster-fast jaws. Over the pond the shadows stretch, ospreys circle on quiet wings. Raccoons and mink stalk the shoreline for supper. Under the pond, with a flip of a tail, a crayfish disappears in the dark. Over the pond we head for home. We glide, swish, bump, right up onto shore as a far-off loon calls goodnight. The sky turns from sunset to dusk to dark. Night settles over the pond. The prowling catfish and drowsy turtles, the scuttling crayfish and tadpoles turn frogs, wading herons and stalking raccoons. And the hidden world under the pond. The end. Well, friends, I hope maybe sometime you have an opportunity to visit a pond and see how many different creatures you can see.